an ECD center here in Dunoon. He was part of Cohort 4, the previous cohort. And yeah, he'll be here to share all about his journey. And then the next one I will call is Chanel Davids. So Chanel was part of Cohort 3, Feb 2024. So she is in the hair beauty business, in cosmetics, and she'll also share everything about her business. And lastly, we have Untitled Manana, who has an insurance business. He's in the his business is very, he will tell you about it. So let's welcome him. Caskets, and the last time when we went for a visit with business, I was like, oh, I can't. Okay, so Obud Manana was part of Cohort 3 as well. We couldn't get Cohort 2 and 1. We wanted to have one each, but these are the entrepreneurs we have. But you guys will see, every bootcamp we probably have at least one entrepreneur from a previous cohort to share their journey as well. So thank you very much. I think I'm going to start with you. Before you joined, your brother was part of the program.
Yeah.
You heard from Ubudwaku that there's an entrepreneurship program at Silulo Foundation. And I remember we were doing the 80 steps with Ubudwaku. Kule 80 steps with Ubudwaku, he just came. Again, he didn't do anything. He was like, Jongaman, now I was here to just Now, I'm sure you have found that one thing that you wanted that will help your business. And I think when we did the 80 steps, I said, no, my Ubudwaku is not serious. But after some time, we saw your dedication and commitment for your business. So please share with us about that whole journey. What did you anticipate what the Silulo Foundation will be, and how has the journey been?
Okay. Morning, everyone. So I think for me, the journey was more of Sekai nature, and I need money now. My business must just make money, and then we need to move. And then, so you come in with that mentality. So immediately, once you come in with that mentality, it's like when you get to Silulo Foundation, you meet this guy, that one person who's going to tell you, okay, hold up, we don't have a bank yet. So that was the beginning of the end between me and Silulo right there, because I was like, no, then that means I'm in the wrong door. But then again, I think that's when I said to my older cousin, I said, listen, dude, can you just maybe, because I know you have patience. I'm not like you, I'm not gifted with patience. When you go attend the sessions, I will make sure everything is sorted, and then after that we will see what happens. And then he actually did. He went and attended, and then after finishing Unyaga within the Silulo Foundation, you can see a person change. And I think that's what it drew me even closer, is to see him change. And now you no longer have a person that comes to you as well, just talk about money all the time. Now we're talking about how do we move, what's the next move. And then now that interest drew me in. So I told myself, okay, cool, next year is my turn. So 2024 came, and I told myself I'm cool. And then now this time around, when I'm coming in with a mindset that is saying I'm here to learn. And I think upon my discoveries, was that I needed to unlearn what I've already learned. Because if you're a self-employed person, let's be honest, we are hustlers. And it's just that's just it. Because how we make our money, we do whatever it takes to make our money. And at the end of the day, to the point that to notice that a self-employed person is a hustler. If we can see a person that is assisting you is not closing this deal very, very fast, you're like, I don't want. You see, cost cutting. And then people would listen to cost cutting and think you are cutting costs. You are not cutting costs, you're still going to increase because you want to make a profit. But now again, I think when you come to Silulo, then that's all the techniques that you also get to learn and all the skills that you get to learn. Because one of the biggest, I think for me, one of the biggest fundamentals was the separation of business in terms of your own personal income versus your business income. Because that's the first point of departure. Because if you notice, most of the time, as much as we have businesses, we don't pay ourselves salaries. We become slaves of the business. Yes. And then as slaves of our businesses, then you realize that you are not even able to go apply for credit on your own. Because your business is not paying you a salary. And then that became a problem. I think within 2024, Silulo has helped me on my personal side. And then I managed to apply for one by myself. Wow. Using my own salary. So that was the first discipline that came from it. And my family was shocked as well because I told my family, look, I'm not going to say the business is paying this, it's my salary. And even the bank, when we were arguing with the bank, I remember my wife was denied because my wife did the application on her own and then I went to reapply again. And then I went to the same person because there's something I learned with the banks that the person that declines the bond is the same person that is going to motivate for you to get approved. So I went back to that lady and I said, I'll give you anything you want to see. Tell me what you want to see. And then we had that engagement and then she told me how to actually prepare a presentation to the bank. And then she can use that. And then that's when it hit me that, look, this is some of the lines that Silulo was teaching us on in terms of the financial systems and how to actually have the financial controls and then also all those separations. And now, I think from where I'm standing, I'm here.
I think beyond the offering, which is the program and all the different the different offerings that we have, the biggest thing is personal development. Because we see people at different, when they come in, you are at a different place than when you leave the program or throughout. What have you developed personally? I know this is about your business, but what has been the changes in your behavior that have been instilled by the program?
I think on the personal development is, I can say speed. How do I put it in English? Exactly. I've grown guts. I think part of growing guts is on that level to say, are you willing to take a risk? If you recall earlier on, I spoke about the students from overseas students. Before you get to that program, there's a gentleman that's called Dr. Morris, yes. So Dr. Morris was one guy he's very critical. And then he just pushes you to the edge during that interview. And then he said to us, he said to me actually, are you in sales? Are you in a sales business? And I'm like, yes I am. And then he says, but why is your business not showing sales? So then I was like, yeah, because Ekasi, Yamachita, and all of that. It's like, so if you're running a sales business, then you need to be in sales. So I think from there, for me, that's when I started turning to the next part of business. And Mr. Khan also was shocked when he discovered that, and I had a conversation with Mona Lisa about it first. area. That's when I turned my house into a student accommodation. So instead of focusing on sales, being out there on the streets, then I was like, okay, cool, I have a house that I'm using. So now let me use that house to make another business and see if it's going to work. So at first, I did not have the courage to do it, and I did not actually do the risk calculation about it. But now, the house is there and the demand is growing. And then now, I'm also able to assist my neighbors in my street. I have a house in Itapa. So in that house in Itapa, currently I'm housing about 8 students. And my neighbors have about, my one neighbor, I helped him build a 4 rooms at backyard in Yard. And then my other neighbor has a B&B also. I'm going to make available another 4 rooms. So I was just having that discussion with the people on my street that, look, I have the license, so let's just tap on it and let's make each other eat.
Positive energy.
I mean, Chanel. So when Chanel joined in February 2023, she was coming from the Eastern Cape. So she was looking for jobs here in Cape Town. And I think at that point was one of your lowest moments. There was just a lot going on before you joined the foundation. Please share to us about that whole journey before you joined, why you even joined when you were here for a job. Yeah.
Okay, good morning everyone. Afternoon already. Okay, so my story is more centered around resilience. So I literally just want the people that are here today, that are in a position or in a mindset of, A, you don't know how, you don't know when, like you don't have the answers to any of the questions that you have, but you have showed up and you are here and you are hoping for a miracle. I want to close you and say that I'm so proud of you and you are in the right place. So as Akama was saying, initially I moved here in 2023, yes, in 2023 for a job. So I have a background, educational background in industrial psychology, so that is my qualification. So I worked in the HR space for quite some time. So that is how I was able to move from the Eastern Cape to Cape Town. But then I lost my job in 2023, and then after that I couldn't find another employment, but I didn't have a backup option to go back home to Eastern Cape because I didn't have home to go back to. So it was, I either make it or I make it, like there was no in between, I didn't have plan B. But now with someone having extensive experience in HR, like I am here struggling to find a waitressing job, a cleaning job, like anything to just like be busy and make money. And at the same time, I have my business because that started in 2020, officially registered in 2021. But if I'm looking for a job, clearly, like you can't even think about like in what state the business is in, And that wasn't even an option at the time because I'm in Cape Town. Rent is high, guys. What is happening here? And I'm like, I need to make money. And at this time, like my bank account is probably like a minus what? I can't even like afford bank charges. Like that's how bad it was. You guys know what I'm talking about. Why are you laughing? So I'm like, okay, I've done over 600 applications in like 2 months. Like the recruiters are ghosting me. They're not even rejecting me. So I'm like, okay, loud and clear. I'm getting the message. What can I do on the business side? So luckily, I have a friend that works at UWC because we work together at Nelson Mandela University when I was still in PE, and that's why it's so important to be in environments where you network and you make these networks, because she was able to reference the foundation to me. So she was like, oh, you're still looking for a job? Unfortunately, I can't offer you a job at the moment, but I think this program would help you. I'm like, is there money? And she's like, no, Chomi, don't think about it. I'm like, Chomi, I need money now, I'm hungry now, what must I do now? So she was like, no, go, like, it's going to be good for your business and to revive it. And I'm like, hey, I don't trust her, but like I don't have anything else, so let me go see what this foundation is about. She sends the application, I apply with the best of my ability because I'm like, this is the only shot that I actually have at actually doing something. And I come to the foundation and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's entrepreneurs here. It's literally like I have to pull up my socks. It's business. Like we're speaking about business, and I'm like, okay, this is actually what I want to do. But I think that was only like the start of something very beautiful and very challenging, where the community aspect of it like really helped me through a very difficult time, where I was able to have something to look forward to every Saturday for the first 6 weeks, and actually make meaningful connections. Where I think like in the second boot camp, I was like, okay, like who can I use here for like something to like revive my business? And then Siki is like one of the guys like as Malusi who also brews his own coffee. I'm like, hey, you have a coffee shop in Kailicha, let's collaborate. And he was like, okay, like what do you want to do? I'm like, did you just say yes? Because I was just like testing. He's like, yeah, of course, like what do you need? Gave his venue for free, all the decor, like he had like staff come in to work. And then luckily I had like still some stock left from the previous year. And I could do like a natural hair workshop where I was doing like sort of like a master class in terms of like the importance of knowing your ingredients, how to use the products, how to style your hair. And there were even men there with like their daughters that came, and it was such a beautiful event. And I'm like, Silulo! And I think within like the space of like during the boot camps, I think I found like that oomph again, and I was like, the job market doesn't want me. I also don't want them. So let me see how I'm actually going to establish myself. So during that time, obviously, like you know, like when it rains, it pours. Things were good on the side of me being busy, because like it's very important when your mind is trying to play tricks on you, like, oh, you're not good enough, this business is not going to work. Don't stay idle and not do anything, because then those thoughts only fester and it grows worse and you start believing the lies. Like just stay busy. So having like activities in the foundation, having people like reach out, oh, so like we have products here, like it's just sort of like puts pressure on you to do something about it like more urgently. Then I applied for a pitching competition. I'm like, yeah, this business bank statements is worse than the personal bank account statements. Like if you've ever seen double businesses, it was those ones. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this one a shot. And so I entered the pitching competition with the City of Cape Town, which is, I found out about the pitching competition through Mona Lisa. So you see how important networking is, and it was such a full circle moment, because she was also one of the judges on the pitching competition that played a very important role in my development throughout the competition. And we started with 100 participants, narrowing it down to 75, top 40, top 20, top 10, and I actually ended up winning that competition. Wow. And it was also with the groundedness and also like with the boot camps with the information about like how I could use some of like new marketing strategies and implement that into my pitches that I had like on a weekly basis, because some of them were like, they started off from a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So like you have to speak 10 minutes about your business, very important elements about your business. While you're speaking, the judges are here looking at the screen, doing calculations, they're on Google, are you lying, is your stuff factual? So the foundation has really helped me to like look at things like a bit more critical, to understand my numbers, to know what's going on, so that if anyone wakes me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm able to like answer questions about it. So yeah, so that is what I can say for now. So I'm waiting for this question.
You know, life is really about ups and downs, and it really shows with your story, because really when you joined, it was a very difficult moment for you, and the progress that you've made. I think one of the things that I like about Chanel is that she knocks and she goes on and she's committed, and that's an important quality for an entrepreneur to have. What has been the other impact that the Silulo Foundation has had on your business besides the course and the program, what has it had for yourself, your outlook in life, and what you think about the business world as well?
So listen, like that ups and downs, life is more down than it is up. Like the sooner you realize that, especially as an entrepreneur, like your life becomes easier. Like let me just tell you that now. So if you forget anything today, please remember that. Like you're always gonna have more challenges than you have times, because that is like where the development is, the rootedness is, and even when you are looking for motivation, you will find it in the last challenge that you have overcome. You will always look at like, okay, but like if I made it up, okay, last year when I was homeless, literally during the course of the program, then whatever it is that I'm facing now, I'm sure I'm going to be fine, you know. So I think with being part of a community, you always think when you are by yourself that you are the only one going through this thing and it's the worst thing ever, up until you have a conversation with someone else and you realize, man, my problems are not, yeah, you know. So I think for me, like what Entrepreneurship or like Silulo Foundation was like the selfless act that they are doing with, like I know like the endless hours and commitment that goes in behind closed doors, behind the scenes, into making sure that everything like really works out for us. Like I count my things well, like how they don't sleep at night trying to like balance the books and going out there like looking for funding for us. I think it's also given me that element that it doesn't matter what I'm going through and how bad business is, like I still need to find a way to serve. So what I've also like told myself and opened up myself to is that I love public speaking. As you guys can see, I'm having a fabulous time on stage right now. So I've always opened up myself with the ability that if the foundation needs me to come out, I will avail myself. And we always say thank you so much for coming. But like it's one of my passion projects where I'm like, if I can tell my story, because it is so important to share your journey, because you never know who is listening. Even if someone might have come up to you like after the session, someone is taking something from what you've said, and it maybe has saved them, it healed them, it maybe criticized something in them to make them better, but never sit silent on something that has the ability and the power to uplift and empower someone else. And I think that is something that we should all embody, that we need to have a heart and a mind of wanting to give back. Because if you are part of something like this, like it cannot only be about you and your business, and you guys will learn that. So yeah, I think I'm leaning more about in developing my public speaking skills, but using it to empower and to develop and to tell my story as best as I can.
So with the previous cohort, it was just Danoon entrepreneurs. And I think one of the things that we've noticed with the Danoon cohort is that most of them are doing the same thing. So most of them are either in construction or in ECD but it's the same businesses. Like there's a lot of competition within the cohort. And I think Lubabalo stood out in the cohort because I could just see his commitment to wanting more for his business. At that point, I think you had 2 businesses that you were running, or the other one was still an idea. So he would even come to us and be like, which one should I take? We were like, no, we can't decide for you. That's something that you have to do for yourself. I mean, for you, Buti, tell us a bit about what you do and your passion for kids and that whole journey from working and now you have your own business of a child center. Yes.
Wow, I'm so nervous. abantu abadala kaloku phela abantwana. Sesiqala ukuphendula njena. I did the ECDs apha eDanone. Yeah, bengirana early childhood development. Ndirana ne-after school programs esikolweni. Napha kuwo ekreshi ndinazo i-after care plus ne-after school programs abantwana whereby the-community bazayodlala khona until late again, until maybe 6 or 7. Yeah, so mistake yethu i-business siyirana isikwati. Yeah, siyirana isikwati all the way. That's why it takes years, but iphumelele i-business yento omnyama. So meeting the foundation efana noSilulo, it makes things like very easier because join a program, the entrepreneurship program, then can go and understand about what is an entrepreneur. Okay, I want to make an entrepreneur. Maybe it means a businessman, but what exactly is an entrepreneur? Don't do entrepreneur. So I can't understand, but she entrepreneur was this is simple. To identify a problem and then give up as a solution glad. Okay, we don't pay up we on a bed and only but nabantu abaninzi capitalism. So abantwana benziwa oko. As we are speaking now, like there are lots of people just in my street that they are people making babies right now. So all those babies they go to my ECD center. That's why. I'm sure that it didn't offend you. So meeting Silulo, okay, they make everything easier for you. So I just established my business because Tina question is banalandu basikhangela so isitya ebomnyameni. Kanti that is wrong. So khangela isitya ebomnyameni. Okay. Xa ungenwe romini kumnyama khangela ilight. Yes. Light. Uyosithatha ke ngokuthi ngoba ukuba uzaba nala mentality uba khangela isitya ebomnyameni uzasinyathela. Kanti kwakuthi kuphakele kodwa bekuseplatini sikroboko neengceba zipha awukwazi ukuyidutha. So uSilulo ke uza naloo nto uba ibhizinesi yakho noba yiphi noba yokutya yantoni make it well established. Registerisha ibhizinesi yakho, paperwork yakho ibe right, comply, do some programs like such as Silulo programs, okay? The entrepreneurship program, it was a very, very great program. I'm sure not for only Mna, but abantu needs I could see they are improving in life. So yeah, Sister.
Wow. When you joined the program, you had about 36 kids that you had in your center. And I think with Bootcamp 5, it was the marketing bootcamp when they were taught about how to market your business, what you need to do, building your brand and all of that. I think you moved to 63 students. Share us a bit about what you learned and what you implemented in your business for you to get more students now after going through that program.
Like I said, you know, there are lots of things that I didn't even know like that they were meant to be doing in my business. So what I did, I just ran a creche. Yeah, so and I was like, there were school fees for the kids. There's lots of money if you like take into account. Like I charge like 500 rand per child. I have got like 63 kids. But now there's like more than like 63 kids now at the center. And there's kids who are there for aftercare. There are kids who are there for one day. There are kids who are there for the holiday programs. But the holiday programs, we don't charge them. We just go to these big retailers like the ShopRite. We look for funding, for sponsorship. They will end up giving us money and siphekela abantwana ke sibathengele ezo nto. Like yesterday, I got a call from Astron. They were saying to me, Charles, are you from Charles? I'm known as Charles. Yeah, because question is more seven than I know. Must be Listen, there's nothing wrong with having your own name. It's always best. It's always best. This is Akama. I'm a Gloria. Akama. So, then Uluba Balo, Kamalam is called Uluba Balo, but I am known as Charles.
Yes.
Yeah, 90% of the people, they know me as Charles. Yeah, so it's a unique name. It's not like other English names like Ochawan or Peter. Charles. So, inatsika the ECTs ke zalapha no zine competitors ezingaba-foreigner. Yeah, one thing I've noticed about government wethu, if into ke wayibona bangaba naba bangaphandle into bayayenza and it makes them money, uyayeka kwenzela uba aba bantu abo ba-benefit. Yeah, so ECTs wayekade strict engena to ECT to ECTs. I used to work at social development. I used to be one of those people abakhangela ECTs as occupier ngokho semthethweni zivalo. But when you go, oh, this is a business to the Zimbabweans. Yeah, so they end up by year, but okay guys, we'll just give you training. That's it. So when you end up having ECTs, there's a 20 around you. And those ECTs, they are probably paying the protection or something while you don't pay protection. So it's very difficult for us here. So kulapho ke ngokufuneka uthi wenze sure eyakho indawo unique. Kulapho ke ngokwenza programs zaseSilulo si-implementa khona but okay, wena you are well established. Eyakho into i-creche awurentanga ndlu, especially mina I've got my own property. Property enkulu, ino-gym ngaphandle, it's a creche. Xa ugqitha uyabona uba kuse-creche noba ukwazi ubona okay phantsi se-creche. So it's there to like forever. And ngiyayazi ke ne-clientele yam ke soze ndidisappoint because abantu bangaphandle abafani nathi. Yazi thina amaXhosa uba unomntana ngoku, you will probably have another child in 5 years' time. Kanti ke aba bangaphandle abekanoni ke gcwele abantu bangaphandle. Uba ngakubele kuye lo ukhono la ukhono ukwazi. From the same parents, so I'm looking, okay, no, I'm the Christian, that's fine. No, in 5 months' time, then probably next year we'll be giving birth. Earlier next year, no, this is a home. So, service, it's very unique.
Yes.
It's very so funny for man. I'm probably maybe the last person you've ever heard of. But they don't do ECT. So I've established a business, so did not teach. Wow. They are earning salaries.
Yes.
So that's one thing I'm proud of.
Job creation.
Because of me. Jeez, may God lift me high. Those are one of the things. Because if you don't work, there are lots of crime to do. Yeah, you'll be approached by, hey, our siblings, come join us. Yeah, so rather, go to, I used to volunteer at a primary school for 5 years. I did programs, phys ed, physical education, the sport, do the co-shop. I haven't getting any salaries. I But again, I was doing the township tours because I was working with a foundation or same foundation. So they will come to Danone and white people from overseas. I will do a township tour with them, show them, guys, I want you to see, so I will take them to the township. So likely for them now, people know me, so they was just like greeting me and stuff. So now they were safe, they are now. Yeah. So guys, one thing I would like to tell you that I'll cost and I will never wrong. In consistent, be here, don't drop out. I can't stipend, I'm not dropping out. After those running a business, a squad. Once you run a squad, you will go nowhere. But rather become an entrepreneur. I always encourage people not to become hustlers, because hustlers always yeah, so entrepreneurs, you are doing something that you know. Everything is there. Silulo will give you the tools, how to do things. You need to be profile. Go to an astronomer, design a profile. But for no fund, organization. So how to write in profile? No, just go to Canvas. We gave you the tools. So I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot. So and I went to Canvas. I sent you in WhatsApp this morning. I share with you your key profile. So I've sent them my profile. Yeah, so hopefully they will say, okay. And say, man, the organization gets here for man, guys. It's an NPO. There's a cost salary. We give ourselves the salary. Yeah, even if we go so bad about entrepreneurial, I would say, no, the motor attend the meeting. That's why I'm taking a Porsche. The meeting is very fast.
Oh, but Charles just took the whole thing. Okay. No, thank you so much, Guti. I want to go back to you, Budwa. There's a lot of added benefits to joining the program. But as with anything, there's criteria and there's all of that. How do you make sure that you always stay abreast with all the opportunities that are coming, and also making sure that at least you get some of these opportunities?
Okay. I think first to mention, so far so good. Silulo has also partnered with the Western Cape government, and there's also something called the Booster Fund. And then out of that Booster Fund, the Western Cape government will give you money. And then with that money, you can buy the tools that you need. And we were fortunate in my business that Silulo also helped us to get up. I think it's up to 160,000 that we got between last year and the year before. So so the first important thing that the guys really want is like, if Rechinza is like looking for the stats, and then you need to give the statistics. But I think at first we took it for granted because we're in a program, so why should I give stats? But I think there was a presentation last year, just late last year before we closed, as we were getting to the Booster Fund, and then when I looked at the presentation that Mr. Khadi was doing, it all hit me. So for example, you find, when you start the program, there's a question that goes, and then also how much money did you receive this month? So let's say you get 10 people employed, we've made about 100,000 this month, and then next month how much did you make? Up until the end of the year. But as you get to the culture of giving that feedback, also now as a person you get to analyze your own feedback, because now you can see my business was stagnant, it was not moving. And then that's when then the tools that Mr. Charles is talking about, they come into action as well for you personally, because you get to understand that it's okay, maybe I need to market better, I need to do this more, I need to research more, and then you do that. So in all of that, the most important thing is to make sure when something is requested, submit it on time. And then once that is done, also the guys at the Silulo Foundation, you are serious about your business. And then also when compliance is needed, you make sure now you comply. For example, I think there's tax clearance as well that is then needed, and then you get questioned about it. So you need to also provide. Because I remember by closer to Mustafa, there were documentations that were required. And then balancing what you said previously in terms of your numbers. And then all of that was also verified, because in the end, when we received our equipment from Silulo and everything, the Western Cape government did visit our office. So now when they visited our office, they were verifying everything that I gave to Silulo and then everything that Silulo gave to them. I think that's when it hit home, yeah, shit, it's good to tell the truth. So I think the most important thing is to actually just give that information, because at the end of the day, these opportunities come. And I'm also very happy that today at least we have the equipment that we really needed into our business, and now we are able to function better.
I think as we close this part of the session, any words, anything that is coming from the heart to this cohort as they're stepping into this journey with us? Anything you want to share?
Can never say no to a good opportunity to encourage another person. I think you guys are definitely going to need it. So what I would just say is that just be present, man. Like in this journey, for a lot of you guys, it's probably like the first time that you are part of a community, that you are part of a program, and a lot of it is going to feel unfamiliar when you start out. Maybe like the English words are going to be too big, it's not going to make sense. But there's never something such as a wrong question or a wrong answer. So just put yourself out there to look silly, to be embarrassed, to feel embarrassed, because that's the only way that you can start. And don't sit on what you think is wrong in your business. Speak about it. Like I cannot emphasize this enough. The foundation wants to hear about your problems. Don't think that they want like a good idea of a business, of what a business should look like. They are here to assist from getting your business from like wherever it is to obviously like to higher grounds. And then I also want to say is that let's keep in mind that like failing, I also learned this recently with Sheldon, that failing actually just means that it's your first attempt in learning. Like that is what it means. So when you feel like you failed at something in business, just know that the next time you're going to do it, it's going to be better. And I know it sounds probably easy now, like me saying this, and you might be in a position where you are broke right now, you don't know how you're going to get to paying rent at the end of the month. But if God has given you the vision, He will make provision to carry you through. And just soldier it out. Like I really want to encourage you guys with that, especially because with entrepreneurship, that is literally the solution to all of the problems in our African continent. You guys are sitting here as change makers with the Silulo Foundation at your disposal to make your entrepreneurial dreams a success and to also contribute to what the economy needs. So don't give up, lean on each other, support, stress them out with questions. They are here, like I'm telling you, like they will assist. And like Nkuli said, like just apply your mind to doing whatever it is that they ask to the best of your abilities, because they also can't guarantee that you will get into everything that is available, but you never know like when it might be your lucky day, you know. So just enjoy, guys, because like it's definitely going to be a beautiful round for you guys.
But you were gonna Charles. I think also for you, any parting words to the new cohort, what you envision for them and their journey.
To the new entrepreneurs, guys, ndifuna ninyamezele, ningayiyeki le program, even if it means awunamali takes yokuza apha, do something. Yiza apha. Your businesses will be, it's guaranteed. Now that you are here, your business, it's guaranteed, it's going to be successful. In these days, about win a lot or about 50 million rand, they don't give it to you just like that. They will tell you, hey, listen here, in the past, there's been lots of people who have been killed with this money. So now, if you want this money, we're giving you a program. We first train you how to be a millionaire. Yeah, but we follow the program. We clearly use it. We don't forget to say no. We give you with things. You go for running. So you go out there. So Silulo is like that. Silulo will treat your business like a baby until it grows, until it goes there. Yeah, that's Silulo. So please, don't ever stop this program until the end. I haven't stopped it either. We're busy with forums. So tomorrow we are here, we will be joining the forums. It's whereby you will be naked, like you speak out. We'll sort you out. Silulo will sort you out.
Yes.
Think about everything, Silulo will sort you out. Thanks for
Thank you so much. I think beyond the different trainings that we offer, some of the intangible things that we offer to our entrepreneurs is just confidence to speak about their business. A lot of people, sometimes when they come, they don't even want to share about their business, what they do and all of that. And through platforms like these, you get to share and actually learn how to speak about your business. So if you are at that point now of, you don't want to share, you don't want people to know what your business is, this is a place to also talk and for people to know what you do, because if we don't know what you do, we can't buy from you. So that's the other one. Mona Lisa has also mentioned, this is a community of a lot of entrepreneurs that are like-minded, that want to grow, that want to scale their businesses. So if you put in the work and if you take each opportunity as it comes, then you are guaranteed to move forward with your business. So it really depends on you whether you're going to take on these learnings and actually implement them in your business, or you're just going to stay with them. Now, before we leave, I'll take questions to the panel.
Mine is actually not a question per se, but just a realization that I've noticed. After the three speakers have heard their word, there's one thing that I actually concluded. In the training world, we call it the BPP, passion before profit, which means if you are going to be an entrepreneur for money without the passion, it's gonna take you 6 months of not making money, and then you're gonna leave it. You're gonna give up. But if you're doing it for passion, it's like playing golf. It's a very expensive sport to play. But because you love it, you spend the money to play the sport. So whatever business ideas that we all have should be driven by the passion. I should love what I'm doing. Before I make money, I must fall in love with what I'm doing, so that even during the absence of money, I'm still getting the satisfaction of what I'm doing. That will keep me going until the money comes. It might take another 12 months or so, but eventually I know that the money will come. But right now, what is sustaining me is my passion. Thank you.
I've got a question, but I think it will be morely addressed to you. I want to know, are there any maybe systems that the program also gives, like accounting systems or just any systems to make sure that your business can run without you necessarily having to be there, but maybe just delegate some people? But are there any systems, one? And then if there are, is it the same as like the service that we saw where you'd have to maybe, they would have to give you a supply and then you'd have to go and pay for that service? I want to know on the systems, are there systems?
Systems-wise, I think Silulo is, I can say, very smart on that part. Because remember, all the systems, they come at a cost. So Silulo has partnered with the various companies. For example, we have a company that did accounting systems for us. These guys were based in Century City, if you remember. I forgot their name. Besides Zoho, there was another one. Yes. Yes. There's a text. I'm trying to locate, even though I have classes there, I can miss it. So SM Text, for example, those guys, they came, the first start, they taught us about tax, and they teach you about the importance of taxation and everything about taxation, because part of taxation is part of our business. And then after that, they gave us a 12-month access on their system, so that you can see how that system functions, and then work on that system for your business. And then, if you still want to continue with them, you can subscribe. But before then, you can make use of it so that you can be compliant with your taxes and everything. And then two, we had Zoho as well. We even visited their offices in Durbanville, Tiger Valley, Durbanville, somewhere there. So Zoho gave us a CRM system. So also with their CRM system, they had a financial system within that system that also includes an HR system in there. So also with them, we had a similar thing. We had a 12 months access, and then after that period is finished, then also you can subscribe if you want to. And the reason why I'm mentioning these two specifically is because if you now notice when you start a business, like most of us, even me, although I knew the CRM is very important, but once you start your own business, you just want to control everything. It's like if you want to do social media, it's fine, you have a separate phone that will do WhatsApp for my business, and then we do that. But then the same goes to the emails. Most of us are using Gmail, for example. You see, of which now, all of that, Silulo is able to associate us with people that can help us do it, and then the control can be on your side. But at the end of the day, like Umhlekazi is saying, there's also going to be a money aspect. So we can't run away from that part. You need to pay for the services. But you don't pay at the beginning of learning. You pay after you've understood. I hope to be there.
Any other questions?
What is the number? I think there was a hand this side.
No, I'm covered.
Oh.
Mention taxes and everything and business strategies.
I think I think I also want to explain with Nkulu so that people don't have expectations. With what Nkulu is talking about, he was part of the Booster Fund. So they were able to get free access to Izoho system and all those other things. Because I think you were rather qualified for, and then you could. So, as I said, there's these added benefits. As Zinyazazo, you probably won't get, but others you will get. There's always a criteria for things.
Thank you. Just to you, Mr. Charles, we need to give you a round of applause for being a man leading the ECD. It's very rare that you see men in that foundation phase. It's very rare you see a teacher in a foundation phase. You know, so the ECD is a challenging sector. And I'm inspired because I think during the SONA, the president has said that they are now going to focus more on the ECD. They want to formalize that sector. And I think you are in a better space now because of Silulo, as I hear. But if they are going to formalize that sector, it means that your teachers must also be qualified teachers, meaning that you must provide curriculum, the teaching. So how are you there, you know, in terms of the curriculum? And I mean, if I hear you also, Danone is a multiracial with different languages. So what would be your medium of instruction? I'm just curious saying that because there's a lot that is coming towards ECD. And we are inspired about a man leading that sector. So I'm very interested in that. So thank you.
Ngosi Tata. Into endayenza kimnake kwi-ECD. I've went to Northlink. I did level 4 kwi-ECD. So I'm a qualified teacher. As a man as I am, I'm a qualified teacher, a crash, grade R. So what I do is, I always encourage my teachers to become qualified as well. So luckily now, Northlink can give you a course, level 5, they will give you a stipend. You only attend once a week. So in 4 days, ulapha kum a crash wenza i-practicals. So each and every Fridays, she will go and report. So as a qualified teacher, I must have also a qualified teachers, because generally lapha khona qualified teacher bayami. So if kubuzwa anything, she will show them everything that's needed. Yeah, so that's the one thing in the ECTs. Ube compliant. And I also do accelerator programs, grow. Kwenzela uba ndibe linked to education. Ndizabe ngokapha kule curriculum ibuzayo. Uyamkhumbula ugrow lona besibeke yakhe naye. So I'm attending a grow to do a 6-week program, the accelerating program. So I'll be linked to education. Education ke warrior uzawuthi abantwana mababalezi. Yeah, but I will find but I'm limited 6,000 rands per month for a battalion teacher, but so, but anyways, for now to comply with the government system, it's good.
I would just like to give you a few words, not a lot, few words. I'm gonna open my notes, so I wrote them on a note. It's just one line, but I feel like it's very powerful. So if it doesn't move you, I don't know, then we'll wait for Jesus to move you. So it says, success belongs to those who commit. Take action and refuse to quit. Success belongs to those who commit. Take action and and refuse to quit. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Hoping to see you next week again, same place, same time. We have a slogan up at Ekaya. It says, small business, big impact. You are small businesses, but the impact that you do is big. So thank you so much. See you